Well, the Ravens season has come to an end, but it's a little bit of a question on who is to blame for this loss. It's between right now Lamar and Mark Andrews. Let's talk football. All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast of sports and everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are talking about the Baltimore Ravens. After losing in the AFC divisional round to the Buffalo Bills, they ended up losing by a. They had a touchdown at the last few minutes with Isaiah Likely, but the tight end Mark Andrews had the 2 point catch, but it was incomplete because he couldn't hold on to the dang ball. And with Lamar's three turnovers in the game, well, two of them came from him. The other one came from Mark Andrews on the catch that he had and then fumbled it. But I did have the opportunity to call this game. I'll have that live play by play if you all want to go take a look back at it in the description below. But man, we had a really good game this week. But the question is, who is more to blame? Lamar Jackson's turnovers or Mark Andrews' drop on the 2 point conversion? So I'm going to go over that in just a second. But before we get started, if y'all do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, let's talk about the Ravens. So, man, this game was full of everything. So the Ravens, I think it's a little margin of both. Part of it is Lamar because of those turnovers. It was only a 2 point game, and they had another 2 point try earlier on in the game. If they would have converted that, they probably wouldn't have been in the situation. But other than that, the Ravens, they had outplayed the Bills every single way you could think of. They had 416 yards on offense, while the Buffalo Bills only had 273. And the Bills ultimately won the game because of the takeaways. The takeaways was what won the game for the Bills. And the main thing I look at is the total amount of sacks allowed. The Ravens had 2 sacks allowed, while the Bills only had one. But of course, the Lamar threw one interception, had a fumble, and then the other fumble was, of course, made by Mark Andrews. But the Bills won the time of possession. Even though the Ravens beat them out on yards, the Bills still possessed the ball majority of the game. But the main thing I looked at, and you all could see my play ball reaction to the drop by Mark Andrews, I said in that sentence, you got to catch that ball. It was a perfect dime right into the man's chest. And you got to come up with that catch. This loss is not on Lamar Jackson because even though they had some turnovers, they still were in the game. They were still putting up a fight. They and the entire and let me go over some scoring boxes here. In the first quarter, they each had 7 points. Then the Bills outscored them in the second quarter, 14-3. The Ravens had an unanswered scoring area, 9-0 in the third, and then 6-6 in the fourth quarter. Of course, with that last second touchdown that missed the 2 point conversion. But Lamar, he did not lose this game. I know people are going to look at the turnovers, but he did not lose this game. It was Mark Andrews on that last catch. If you make that catch, you may be forced overtime. But then again, there's 1 minute 33 seconds to go on the clock. So even if they got the 2 point conversion, the Bills would have probably gone down the field and scored a game-winning field goal if they were given Tyler Bass the chance, in my personal perspective. But this this is the main thing I look at the Ravens. This is the team that either shows up and does well with running the ball to Derrick Henry, or it's the team that goes in there and beats themselves. And Derrick Henry, speaking of Henry, he had 16 carries, 84 yards rushing, and 1 touchdown. I said this during the game. If you're going to win the game, you got to run the ball to Derrick Henry.
What have I done?
What was the whole reason that you brought him in there? You got to run the freaking ball. You run it to Derrick Henry. Because when you were doing that at the start of the second half, it was working. And for some reason, you laid that off of him. And of course, the other running backs, Justice Hill, and also along with a few other guys, did have some more yardage as well. But you run the ball to Derrick Henry. That's the whole reason you brought him in there. The main reason you made that signing in free agency to get a Tennessee Titan, maybe a future Hall of Fame running back if he wins a championship, which he might not. This guy, Derrick Henry, you have one of the best running backs in the National Football League and arguably in the entire AFC. And you choke away this game. You had the lead to start off with, 7-0. And then you let the Bills pile up a lead. Then you let them score 2 field goals in the fourth quarter. And then you can't put up a response. You can't get down in pits like this. You need to run the ball to Derrick Henry, which is the main thing that's disappointed me about the Ravens. The Ravens brought Derrick Henry in there to win a championship. And now they're sitting on the bench at home, sitting in Cancun, because they didn't run the ball enough to Derrick Henry. And I know people are going to look at Lamar Jackson. Jackson didn't lose the game. It was Mark Andrews on that last catch. But the Ravens had a good season regardless. And let's hope that their Super Bowl window isn't shut just yet. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who do you think lost the Ravens the game? Let me know in the comments why in the comment section below. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.